Do you ever wonder why some women seem to naturally draw attention while others find it hard to be noticed? Why do some relationships grow strong with mutual respect while others dwindle into disappointment? Here's something not everyone will share with you. Attraction isn't just about your looks or witty chatter. It's more about how you hold yourself when you're quiet, showing quiet confidence and a natural elegance. In a world full of noise, shallow relationships and quick praises, being notable isn't about seeking attention. It's about showing your worth. However, many of us often fall into common traps, sharing too much, giving too much, or even desperately seeking approval. Does this sound like something you've experienced? Here's the great news. You don't need to stick with these failing strategies. What if there was a way to change things around? A way to get men to notice you, respect you, and value you, not because you ask for it, but because they find it irresistible. The key is in perfecting 12 quiet but powerful behaviors that show, "I am aware of my value." These are not sly tactics. They are built on enduring wisdom and closely linked to the influential teachings of Stoicism, and yes, even the more intense aspects of Stoic psychology. Each principle will help you naturally express your worth so clearly that it becomes impossible for him or anyone to ignore you. Are you ready to learn how to unleash your natural allure and make him appreciate you in a way that is honest, deep, and lasting? Let's get started with one of the most important lessons: drawing them in, not running after them. Believe me, once you grasp this, your whole outlook will change forever. Number 1. Draw them in, don't run after. Let's begin with a simple question. Why do we feel the need to chase after someone? Is it because we think they're one of a kind? Or does it stem from our fears, fear of losing them, of ending up alone, or of not being good enough? Be truthful with yourself. This is a common experience, right? You meet someone who seems just right, and suddenly they begin to drift away. This causes you to panic. You might text them too much, give them too much attention, or try to mend what seems to be breaking. But here's the twist. The more you chase, the quicker they tend to slip away. Now think about turning this situation around. What if you focus on drawing them in rather than chasing them? How? By showing a quiet, strong belief in your own value, which signals to others, "I'm worth coming after." This brings us to Stoicism, a philosophy that helps us concentrate on what's within our power and release what we cannot control. You can't make someone else feel or act a certain way. However, you can decide how you respond. This is about taking your power back. Picture this scenario. You're dating someone, and everything seems to be going well until they start to become distant. Their replies come slower, they don't try as hard, and things feel different. Most would respond by trying harder, sending another message, asking for another date, or perhaps even questioning them directly. But what if you chose to do less rather than more? This approach isn't about playing mind games. It's about showing through your actions. My time and effort are important. If you're not interested in putting in the effort, that's your choice, but I won't run after you. Here's the reason it works. People naturally appreciate what's hard to get. This is a psychological truth. When something or someone is too accessible, we tend to take it for granted. By not chasing, you give them space to think about you, to miss you, and to reconsider their actions. This connects with the ideas of dark Stoic psychology, using calmness, patience, and self-control to subtly but effectively change the dynamics in your favor. Now let's tackle a big concern. Could pulling back cause him to lose interest entirely? Not if he's truly into you. If his feelings are sincere, he'll notice the change and be attracted to your self-respect and maturity. If not, then you have to wonder, why pursue someone who doesn't see your worth? Stoicism teaches us that sometimes letting go of what doesn't benefit us opens up room for something or someone better. You might wonder, this all sounds ideal, but how do I stop myself from chasing? Begin by redirecting your attention back to yourself. Dive back into your interests, passions, and friendships. When you feel like reaching out, stop and think, what do I hope to achieve? Does this action respect my own worth? It's not about ignoring them or being distant. It's about investing your energy into becoming so appealing and complete that the idea of chasing seems unnecessary. Attraction isn't about clinging to someone else. It's about becoming someone naturally attractive. Adopting this mindset doesn't just make others value you, it helps you value yourself in a refreshing, powerful way. So, here's a final thought. What would it feel like to completely stop chasing? To trust that what's meant for you will arrive on its own, effortlessly? Imagine the peace, confidence, and clear-mindedness this change could bring. Now, let's continue our adventure and discover the next vital silent step. Number 2. Realizing how special you are, just like a precious stone. To realize how special you are, just like a precious stone, I have a question for you. Do you understand your true value? I mean, do you really grasp it? Or are you allowing the world, or even worse, someone else, determine it for you? The reality is, many of us get caught up in using outside approval to judge our value. Likes on social media, attention from someone we like, or society's shifting ideals of beauty and success. But here's the truth. Your value isn't something to be debated. It's not something that others can give or take away. It just exists. Think of yourself as a precious stone. Not everyone will appreciate your sparkle, and some might even ignore it completely. Does that change the stone's worth? Not at all. Its worth stays constant and true, no matter if others notice it or not. You are that precious stone. The real question is, do you recognize your own brilliance? Recognizing your value is one of the most attractive qualities you can have. It's not about being arrogant or showing off. It's about walking through life with a calm confidence and solid self-respect. When you really appreciate yourself, it transforms everything. How you relate to people, how you set your limits, and how others see and treat you. They start to understand that you are not just anyone. You're someone who insists on respect, care, and effort. But how do you reach this understanding of deep personal value? It begins with looking inward, a method deeply connected to Stoicism. Take some time to consider what truly makes you unique. Not just shallow traits, but the deeper qualities. Are you caring, understanding, or resilient? Do you possess a strong sense of loyalty, a creative flair, or the skill to remain calm during tough times? These are the foundations of your worth. When you focus on these characteristics instead of seeking outside approval, you start to view yourself through a lens of strength and uniqueness. Here's a simple practice. The next time you feel overlooked, instead of falling into self-doubt, stop and ask yourself, what strengths and values do I bring to this situation? Perhaps you've shown patience in a challenging time, or maybe your kindness has made a difference to someone. Note these moments down. This isn't about boasting, it's about grounding yourself in your true self. Separate from what others think. When you act from a place of knowing your worth, something amazing happens. You stop accepting bad treatment, not because you're conceited, but because you respect yourself too much to accept less. And here's an interesting point. Others will notice this change. They'll see that you're not someone who needs to seek attention or approval. You're someone who chooses relationships that match your values, not your fears. Think about it. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect others to value you? The way you view yourself sets the standard for how others view you. This isn't just an idea. It's a fundamental principle of human interactions, closely linked to the psychology of deep inner beliefs. When you carry yourself with self-respect, you naturally elevate the standards of those around you. And remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic leader. You control your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your worth is entirely up to you. It's not about what's happening around you or what others do. It's about you, your actions, and how you choose to present yourself in the world. So, let me ask you again, what makes you unique? What qualities make you stand out? Take some time to think about these questions, because when you truly understand your value, you'll notice a significant change. Your interactions will transform. You'll stop chasing, overthinking, or worrying about how others see you. Instead, you'll exude a quiet, compelling confidence that encourages others to meet your high standards. If you've listened this far, let me know if this message spoke to you. Click the like button and comment. Value below if this touched your heart. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more motivating insights like this. We are on a path of growth, self-discovery, and unlocking your inner charm. This is just the start. Stick with me, because in the next part, we'll dive into the art of observing actions, not just words. Believe me, you won't want to miss it. Number 3. Focus on actions, not just words. Have you ever been completely charmed by someone's words, only to find out later that their actions didn't match at all? It happens often, doesn't it? Someone might say everything you want to hear, make promises that seem magical, and describe a future that looks perfect. But more often than not, that perfect future never becomes reality. Because no matter how lovely words can be, they are empty without actions to support them. This is where the wise advice of the Stoics comes in. Watch what people do, not just what they say. Actions tell you more about someone's true intentions, values, and priorities than words can. It's not about being negative or suspicious. It's about being smart. By watching how someone acts, you safeguard your feelings and choose to be around people who really appreciate you. How many times have you felt let down by someone who promised you everything but failed to show even the smallest acts of kindness? Perhaps they said they'd call but didn't, or they cancelled plans last minute. Again, consistency in someone's actions shows their true commitment, while inconsistency shows a lack of commitment. It's not that you expect someone to be perfect. We all make mistakes. But you should look for patterns in their behavior. Consider this example. You're dating someone who often says how much they care about you. They might say, "You mean so much to me," or "I'm always here for you." That feels great to hear, doesn't it? But what happens when you actually need them? Do they stand by you, or do they make excuses? Do their actions line up with their words, or do they disappoint? This is why Stoic psychology is so useful. Rather than getting swept up in every sweet word, you learn to step back and observe. You concentrate on what's true, their actions, not their promises. This doesn't mean you confront every inconsistency or make a big issue out of every minor mistake. It means you quietly take note and let their actions guide your decisions. When you start thinking this way, you begin to see people for who they really are, not just who they say they are. This kind of clarity is freeing and empowering because it cuts through confusion. You no longer get caught up in charming words. You stay grounded in what's actually happening. There's another side to this. Your actions matter too. Just as you assess others by what they do, they are watching you. Are you consistent? Do your actions reflect your values? Do you behave like the person you want to be? When you act with self-respect, kindness and honesty, you set a standard, not just for yourself, but for those you interact with. Here's a simple exercise. Next time you're unsure about someone's intentions, don't just ask them to explain. Watch how they behave over time. Do they keep their promises? Do they treat you with respect, even when it's not easy for them? Let their actions speak louder than any words could. This approach isn't just about judging others, it's about protecting your own heart. When you prioritize actions over words, you lessen the risk of falling for false promises. You make room for relationships based on trust, dependability, and mutual respect. Remember, this method requires patience. People show their true colors over time, if you give them the chance. Don't rush to judgment or force situations. Trust that the truth will reveal itself, and be prepared to respond thoughtfully when it does. At its heart, this principle is about alignment. It's about ensuring that people's actions align with who they say they are, and that this alignment feels right to you. Living by this standard naturally attracts people who value integrity as much as you do. So, ask yourself, are you focusing on actions, or are you lost in words? This question isn't meant to criticize, it's a chance to change your perspective. Because when you start focusing on what's real, you gain strength. You stop hoping someone will change and start seeing them as they are now. With this clear vision, you can make decisions that respect your worth and maintain your peace. By focusing on actions rather than words, you take control of your emotions. You stop relying on empty promises and start building relationships that are as genuine as they feel. This is where true respect and connection start. Trust me, it's worth the wait. Let's continue exploring how to become the person he can't help but value. Number 4. Learn to communicate without words. Did you know that many of your most impactful messages are sent without ever speaking? Imagine this. You enter a room and immediately feel attracted to someone. It's not their words that draw you in, but their aura, the way they hold themselves. This silent language, called nonverbal communication, has the power to grab attention and make a memorable impression. Think about the signals you're sending without even realizing it. The way you stand, the eye contact you make, your hand movements, and even the pauses in your speech all silently show your feelings about yourself and everything around you. Getting good at this isn't about being rigid or overly deliberate. It's about making sure your demeanor reflects your inner confidence. Start by observing how you present yourself. Imagine two people entering a room. One rushes in, slouching and looking around nervously. The other walks in confidently with a straight posture and a serene face. Who do you notice more? The second person, obviously, because they show confidence without saying a word. Your body language reflects your self-esteem. If you act like you value yourself, others will too. Stoicism, a philosophy of inner strength, connects deeply with non-verbal communication. It encourages us to develop calmness that shows in our actions. Maintaining eye contact is a straightforward yet powerful way to convey self-assurance. When you look someone steadily in the eye, it shows that you're interested and confident. You're saying, "I see you, and I'm comfortable being seen." But remember, it's not about staring someone down. It's about connecting while staying true to yourself. Try this in daily interactions, whether you're speaking to a stranger or a friend. Pauses are also powerful. In a noisy world, being able to pause before speaking or staying quiet without discomfort shows control. It shows you're not desperate to fill silence or seek approval with words. This sort of confidence is very attractive. Your appearance matters too, but not in the way you might think. It's not about dressing to impress others, but dressing in a way that shows you respect yourself. Choose outfits that make you feel good and groom yourself to reflect your personal standards. This sends a strong message. I care about myself and I'm worth the effort. Nonverbal communication isn't just about what you show, it's also about what you hold back. In relationships, the urge to share everything can be strong. However, showing restraint can create a sense of mystery and draw people in, showing them that they need to earn your trust. Think about how often we unintentionally give away our energy. Maybe you find yourself over-explaining or apologizing too much. These behaviors come from insecurity, but can be replaced with calmness. When you speak less, but with more meaning, when you stay composed under pressure, you project a strong sense of self that people can't ignore. The true art of nonverbal communication is subtle. It's in the small gestures like how you nod, listen, or relax in your seat. These small actions can significantly influence how people see you. By using your presence instead of words to communicate, you're not seeking approval. You are showing your worth simply through your being. And remember, it's not about manipulating others, but being true to yourself and your confidence. So, consider this. What does your body language say about you at this moment? Does it show self-respect or self-doubt? Is it welcoming or distant? These questions aren't to make you obsess over every gesture, but to encourage you to be more mindful of how you appear. Mastering nonverbal communication lets you inhabit a space of quiet, undeniable appeal. It's about being so naturally compelling that you attract attention just by being yourself. And believe it, when someone meets a person with this type of presence, they not only respect you, but are also motivated to match your level of energy. Let's move on, because there's a lot more to explore, starting with how to set boundaries without a word. Number 5. Establish boundaries. Quietly. Have you ever found yourself over-explaining why you're upset when someone disrespects you? It's common to feel like you have to defend your feelings or argue to make someone understand your boundaries. However, the truth is that boundaries are more about actions than words. It's what you do, not what you say, that really enforces respect. Imagine boundaries as invisible shields around your personal space, energy, and emotions. They don't need grand declarations or dramatic warnings. The most effective boundaries are actually those that are silently maintained. Why? Because they are demonstrated through your behavior, your decisions, and what you choose to accept in your life. Consider this shift in thinking. You don't need to announce your boundaries loudly to make them effective. You simply need to live them. For instance, if someone repeatedly cancels on you last minute, don't lecture them. Just stop making plans with them. If someone belittles you, don't demand an apology. Gradually limit your interactions with them. Over time, others will understand your limits, not because you've told them, but because you've shown them through your actions. This quiet strength comes from Stoicism. The Stoics focused on managing their own actions and reactions rather than trying to control others. You cannot make someone respect your boundaries, but you can uphold them by adhering to the standards you set for yourself. When people see that you are firm and do not tolerate disrespect, they must decide to either meet your standards or move on. Either outcome preserves your peace. For example, Say you're dating someone who often makes snide remarks about your feelings. You don't need to engage in a deep discussion every time it happens. The next time they make such a comment, simply remain cool and unresponsive. You don't have to react or explain. If they notice the change in your demeanor, good. If not, you start to distance yourself. Your silence is loud and clear. I will not tolerate poor treatment. It's important to understand that not verbalizing boundaries doesn't mean you ignore issues or suppress your feelings. It means you let your actions speak for you. By walking away from disrespect or not engaging in unnecessary drama, you clearly communicate that you value yourself too much to stay in harmful situations. This is where dark Stoic psychology plays a role. It's not about manipulating others. It's about possessing a quiet confidence that naturally earns respect. And here's the most beautiful part. Setting boundaries is a way of showing love to yourself. When you enforce them, you're not only teaching others how to treat you, but also affirming your own worth and deserving of respect. This kind of self-acknowledgement is much more impactful than seeking validation from others. Now, let's tackle a common worry. What if setting boundaries drives people away? Here's a tough truth. If someone walks away because you've set a boundary, they probably weren't truly supportive of you. While it may be painful at the moment, losing someone who doesn't respect you isn't really a loss. It's an opportunity to make room for those who will. Think about it. Those who truly care for you will have respect for your boundaries because they understand these are rooted in self-respect. They won't see your boundaries as barriers, but as guidelines for forming a stronger, healthier relationship with you. Those who don't value this will show themselves soon enough, sparing you further trouble. Here's your challenge. Next time someone crosses your line, hold back from explaining or defending yourself. Instead, think about how you can react with calm, deliberate actions. Maybe it means not replying to a rude text or turning down a request that doesn't fit your priorities. These small, purposeful actions build up, changing how others see and treat you. Let me leave you with this idea. Boundaries aren't about excluding others. They're about safeguarding what's important to you. By setting and maintaining boundaries quietly, you create a space where only the right relationships can flourish. And that is how you cultivate genuine respect and authenticity in your interactions. If this message strikes a chord with you, click the like button and comment "boundaries" below to show you're ready to start living with boundaries that command respect. Don't forget to subscribe for more empowering insights like this. We're just beginning this journey, and believe me, you won't want to miss what's next. Let's keep building the life and relationships you deserve, one powerful step at a time. Number 6. Welcome change with open arms. Change. It often makes us feel uneasy and scared, right? This is especially true in relationships. You might have seen it yourself. Little changes, shifts in how things are, times when everything seems unsure. It's easy to want to hold on tight to what we know, to want things to stay as they were. But what if I told you that change isn't something to fight against? It might actually be something that helps you grow. Here's a thought from the teachings of Stoicism. Change is the one thing you can always expect in life. Stoicism teaches us to stop battling what's bound to happen and to welcome it with an open mind and resilience. Whether it's a relationship coming to an end, changes in what's important to us, or the discomfort that comes as love grows deeper and changes. Change is a normal part of every relationship. How you deal with it shows a lot about your inner strength and self-esteem. Imagine you're in a relationship that's starting to change. Perhaps he's pulling away, or maybe life is pulling you both in different directions. Your first reaction might be to worry, try to manage everything or seek answers. But here's the reality. Fighting change only causes more trouble, and this struggle often drives people further apart. Now think about this. Instead of fighting, you accept. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that this phase, uncertain as it may be, is part of your journey. Accepting isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of trying to control everything and trusting yourself to deal with whatever comes your way. This change in how you think can really change how you relate to others. When you welcome change gracefully, you show strength, not just to others, but to yourself too. You prove that you're flexible, resilient, and open to growing. This kind of attitude is attractive. It pulls people closer, not because you're trying to keep them close, but because you've made a space where love can change freely. Here's another truth about relationships. They aren't fixed. They're like living things that evolve and shift over time. They might grow stronger, fade away, or turn into something completely new. The Stoic idea of detachment encourages us to enjoy what we have now without holding on too tightly because of fear. This doesn't mean you care any less. It means you're open to letting things happen as they will, even if it's not what you hoped for. Think about this. What if every change in your relationships was a chance to learn and grow? Maybe a breakup shows you to value yourself more. Maybe changes in how you relate push you to communicate better. Or perhaps just letting go makes room for something even more rewarding. Change, when you see it the right way, is never the end. It's the start of something new. But let's be honest, accepting change isn't easy. It requires immense bravery, perseverance, and self-belief. It means welcoming the unknown with open arms instead of resistance. And importantly, it means staying true to your values, even when things feel unstable. Here's a helpful way to deal with change gracefully. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your thoughts, and your energy. If a relationship is changing, ask yourself, how can I react in a way that shows my worth? Maybe it means having an open conversation, or maybe it means stepping back to give things some space. Whatever it is, make choices that reflect your values, not your fears. There's also a deep beauty in trusting the process. When you stop clinging to the past and start welcoming the present, you make room for life to bring surprises. Sometimes what you feared losing wasn't right for you, and letting it go can open doors to something better. Think of it like this. When a tree sheds its leaves in autumn, it's not dying. It's getting ready for new growth. The same goes for us. Every period of change is a chance to let go of what we don't need and to embrace a new version of ourselves. This view is not just empowering, it's liberating. Let me ask you, what if you saw change as a blessing? What if you believed that no matter what happens, you have the strength to adjust, grow, and thrive? Imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you dropped the need to control and just let life happen. When you greet change with grace, you become unbreakable. You show the world, and yourself, that you're defined not by the outcomes of any one relationship, but by how you handle yourself in uncertain times. And that sort of strength, it's unforgettable. There's real power in this idea. You are not a victim of change, you are actively involved in it. When you meet change with bravery and an open heart, you don't just get by, you flourish. And that's where true value lies. Let's continue this journey together. There's still so much more to learn about becoming the kind of woman who commands respect, admiration, and love, not only from others, but from herself as well. Number 7. Embracing the strength of saying no. Consider a recent time when you agreed to something but really wished you had said no. Did you worry about letting someone down? Maybe you were scared they would think less of you or even distance themselves from you. It's a common situation, right? We're often taught to be accommodating, pleasant, and adaptable, especially with people we care about. But here's something important to remember. Every time you say yes when you don't want to, you are actually saying no to your own needs. Saying no is more than just a word. It's a strong statement of self-respect. It shows both yourself and others that you value your own boundaries, feelings, and time. However, saying no can seem scary, especially when it involves emotions. What if the person reacts badly? What if they distance themselves? These worries are understandable, but they're small compared to the confidence you build when you stand by your principles. Let's think about this scenario. Your partner suggests something that makes you uncomfortable. It could be moving too fast in your relationship or something that clashes with your beliefs. It might seem easier to just agree and not cause any trouble. But deep down you know that agreeing would feel like you're betraying your own values. Here's where saying no can be really powerful. By clearly and confidently stating your boundary, you're not only protecting yourself, you're also setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. And here's something surprising. When you say no gracefully, it often earns you more respect than a reluctant yes would. Saying no isn't about being difficult or mean. It's about being clear. It's about understanding your values and not compromising on them. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, can help here. Stoics believe that true courage isn't about not feeling fear, but about acting according to your principles despite that fear. By saying no, you are practicing this kind of courage. You're choosing self-respect over fear of conflict or rejection. Now, let's tackle a common fear. What if my no drives the person away? The tough truth is, if someone can't respect your boundaries, they might not be the right person for you. A bond founded on shared values and mutual respect won't falter simply because you choose to advocate for yourself. In fact, a person who really values you will respect your strength and confidence when you say no. For instance, if someone invites you to do something that doesn't feel right, instead of awkwardly explaining why you can't or making excuses, simply say with calm assurance, "That doesn't work for me." No anger, no drama, just a clear, firm boundary. This simplicity is powerful. It shows that you know yourself and aren't afraid to prioritize your needs. Saying no isn't just for personal relationships. It applies to every aspect of your life. It's about recognizing when something isn't right for you and having the courage to say no. Whether it's turning down an invitation, ending a tiring friendship, or not settling in your career, every no helps you reclaim your energy and focus. However, saying no can be hard. It might feel uncomfortable at first, and you might worry about coming across as rude or uncooperative. But ask yourself, who is more important, the people you're trying to please, or the version of yourself you're striving to be? The answer should be clear. Saying no is an act of radical self-love, and it gets easier with practice. A good way to start is to pause the next time you feel pressured to say yes because of guilt or fear. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, does this align with my values? Will this help me build the life I want? If the answer is no, then give yourself the right to say so. Remember, your no doesn't have to be harsh or defensive. It can be delivered kindly, calmly, and firmly. This approach also ties into the concept of dark Stoic psychology, which examines power dynamics in relationships. By saying no, you subtly assert your independence. You show that your value doesn't depend on someone else's approval, and that's a very attractive trait. So, remember this. Saying no isn't rejecting others. It's affirming yourself. It's making space for what really matters in your life. for the people and opportunities that resonate with your values and enhance your journey. So, next time you face a choice, remember, your no is your power. Use it wisely and see how it not only changes your relationships, but also your entire self-perception. Stay with me as we delve deeper into the subtle actions that make you truly valued in ways you might not have imagined. There's more to explore. Let's continue. Number 8. Hold yourself with confidence. Imagine entering a room and instantly drawing everyone's attention. It's not about your clothes or what you say, but about the confident way you hold yourself, your presence, your posture, and the quiet confidence you exude make you stand out. You're not trying to be flashy or loud, yet you're memorable. So, what's your secret? It's simple. You hold yourself with confidence. Take a moment to think about what that really means. It's not about being arrogant or flawless. It's about respecting yourself. It's about knowing who you are, accepting your imperfections, and being genuine and strong in your everyday life. When you present yourself with confidence, people, and, importantly, take notice. It starts with how you view yourself. Are you kind to yourself, or are you your own worst critic? Do you value your time, or do you let others take it for granted? How you see yourself influences how others see you. If you often doubt yourself, say sorry too much, or belittle your worth, you're subtly telling others you lack confidence. However, when you walk tall, appreciate your unique traits, and navigate life confidently, you emit a different vibe. Here's a key idea. How you present yourself shows how much you value yourself. This doesn't mean you need expensive clothes or a specific style. It's about being deliberate. Do you wear things that make you feel powerful and attractive? Do you walk proudly, stand tall, and claim your space? These little changes can shift how others see you and how you see yourself. Picture this. You're at an event, and you see two women. One is slouched, playing on her phone, avoiding eye contact. The other stands relaxed yet alert, with a soft smile, fully engaged in the moment. Which one draws you in more? Obviously, the second one. And here's the secret. You can be that woman, not by pretending to be someone else, but by enhancing the confidence you already have within. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson here. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. You might not control every aspect of your relationships, but you can control how you carry yourself and react to situations. Holding yourself with confidence means being your best self, not for others, but because you deserve it. This also applies to your actions. Consider how you speak, listen, and face challenges. Are your words meaningful and deliberate, or are you trying to please others? When you listen, are you fully there, or are you distracted? And when challenges arise, do you get flustered, or do you stay calm? Your responses to these situations show your true confidence. Another important point. Holding yourself with confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being resilient. We all have awkward moments and bad days. What matters is how you handle them. Do you focus on your failures, or do you learn from them and move on? When you manage life's ups and downs gracefully, you become someone people respect, including him. Think about this. How would your relationships change if you truly valued yourself and acted accordingly? What if, instead of trying so hard to impress, you simply were your genuine, confident self? What if, instead of seeking approval, you let your actions and presence speak for you? This change in mindset is powerful, not just in how others view you, but in how you view yourself. When you hold yourself with confidence, you no longer settle for less. You refuse to accept disrespect or half-hearted efforts. Instead, you draw people who recognize and appreciate your value because they see that you value yourself. If this speaks to you, I'd love to hear from you. Press the like button and comment "confidence" below to show you're ready to embrace your power and hold yourself with confidence. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights like this. Your journey to becoming the best version of yourself is just beginning. There's so much to explore, and I'm here to guide you every step. Let's continue moving forward. Number 9. Welcome change with a positive attitude. Let's chat about something that often excites and scares us at the same time: changes in our relationships. Change is a constant thing. The way we feel about each other can shift, our emotions can change, and situations can test us in unexpected ways. It's common to view change as something negative, a hurdle to overcome or fight. But what if we viewed it as a present, a chance to develop, to adjust, and to discover strengths in ourselves that we might not have realized we had? Here's the deal. When you fight against change, you end up causing stress, not only in your relationships, but also within yourself. You hold on to the past because you're scared of what might happen next. By embracing change with grace, you demonstrate a profound confidence in life's natural rhythm. This approach isn't about being passive or not caring. It's about moving along with things you can't change and putting your energy into things you can. Let's picture this. You're in a relationship and you notice things are starting to change. Maybe the initial excitement is different, or external situations are making it tough to stay connected. You might want to cling tighter, seek immediate answers, or try to fix everything right away. But consider this wise piece of advice from Stoicism. You can't control someone else's feelings or actions, but you can choose how you respond to them. Instead of getting upset, step back and think, what can I learn from this change? It might be teaching you to be more patient, to communicate better, or to think about if this relationship is really right for you. By changing how you see the situation, you turn change from a foe to a helpful guide. This isn't just about reacting to changes around you. It's also about accepting the changes happening within you. As you mature, what you need, desire, and accept might change. And that's not just okay. It's wonderful. It shows you're alive, growing, and embracing a fuller version of yourself. By respecting these internal shifts, you show others that you're not scared to change. And that sort of self-knowledge is very appealing. Let's be clear, accepting change isn't always easy. It means letting go of certainty, which can be tough. You might worry, what if I lose them? What if this change ends things? These fears are understandable, but they shouldn't stop you. Holding on to something that's no longer good for you prevents you from getting what's really meant for you. Sometimes letting go is the bravest and most caring action you can take, for both yourself and the other person. Here's a useful tip to help you accept change positively. Whenever you feel resistant, pause and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what am I scared of losing? Is this fear real, or is it just in my head? Then, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your energy. By staying grounded in the present, you let go of fear and open up to new possibilities. Dark Stoic psychology adds another perspective here. It encourages us to face change with curiosity instead of fear. What new chances might this change bring? What strengths might I discover in myself? By seeing change as a friend rather than a foe, you empower yourself to handle even the toughest changes gracefully. Here's another example. Imagine someone starts to pull away. The usual reaction might be to chase after them or demand answers. But what if you took this moment to focus on yourself? What if you spent this time discovering your interests or growing in ways that fulfill you? Doing this not only shows great inner strength, but it also changes the dynamic. You're not trying to control the outcome. Instead, you're focusing on being your best self, and that naturally draws respect and admiration. At its heart, accepting change gracefully is about trust, trusting yourself, the process, and believing that what's meant for you will find its way to you. This doesn't mean you just wait for things to happen. It means you actively participate, take inspired actions, and stay open to unexpected paths life might lead you on. So let me ask you, how would your relationships change if you stopped fearing change and saw it as an opportunity? How much lighter would you feel if you dropped the need to control everything and just enjoyed being yourself? When you accept change with positivity, you show a rare and impressive kind of strength. You show that you're not dependent on any single outcome, and your value doesn't rely on how stable your relationships are. This mindset doesn't just make you resilient, it makes you someone others are drawn to. Because there's nothing more appealing than someone who can face life's uncertainties with an open heart and steady confidence. The path to becoming this kind of person is ongoing, and it's one of the most rewarding journeys you'll ever take. Stick with me. There's one more silent action left to explore, and it's one that will connect everything beautifully. Let's move forward. Number 10. Grow thoughtful caution. Let me ask you this. How often do you just accept what people tell you? It's easy, right? Especially when you're excited about meeting someone new. Their flattering words and promises can sweep you off your feet. But here's a simple truth. Talking is easy. Actions show the real story. Growing thoughtful caution doesn't mean you become bitter or mistrustful. It's about staying realistic and guarding your feelings. This kind of caution doesn't mean you suspect bad intentions in everyone. Rather, it means you wait and watch before you let yourself fully care. This approach, inspired by Stoic ideas, urges you to remain composed and sensible even when your emotions run high. It asks you to consider, does this feel true, or is it just what I hope is true? Consider this. How many times have you been charmed by someone who says the perfect things, only to find out later their actions didn't match? Maybe they promised to be there consistently but were hardly around. Maybe they talked about a future together but took no real steps towards it. These are tough lessons, but they teach you to be more discerning. The benefit of thoughtful caution is that it slows you down so you can really get to know someone. Instead of rushing into a relationship based on mere words or superficial acts, you take your time to see if their deeds support their words. This doesn't just protect your heart, it also ensures that the relationship is built on real understanding and trust. Let's imagine how this works in real life. Suppose you meet someone who seems perfect. They're engaging, attentive, and quick to express their feelings for you. The excitement can be overwhelming, but instead of jumping right in, you stop. You watch. Do they keep their promises? Are they consistent? Do their actions line up with their words? By taking this approach, you allow the truth to come to light. If they are sincere, their actions will prove their intentions, and your trust in them will naturally develop. If not, their inconsistency will show, saving you from investing in something false. This isn't just about avoiding deception, it's also about deepening your understanding of others. Thoughtful caution encourages you to ask insightful questions, listen carefully, and approach relationships with curiosity instead of assumptions. This ties into dark Stoic psychology principles, which stress the importance of staying alert, observing relationships, and basing decisions on facts rather than feelings. There's more to it. Apply this caution to your own emotions. Sometimes we want something to work so badly that we ignore warning signs or settle for less. By being self-aware and questioning your own reactions, you ensure your decisions are made from a place of strength and clarity, not out of fear or need. It might seem like hard work, but here's what's wonderful about it. Caution doesn't make you cold or closed off. It makes you smarter. It enables you to approach relationships with balance, ensuring that you're neither too defensive nor too naive. And when you find this balance, you open up to relationships that are truly meaningful and satisfying. Here's a simple way to start practicing thoughtful caution. Next time someone makes a promise, hold off on taking it to heart right away. Instead, take a mental note to watch. Give it time. Check if their actions match up. This isn't about testing them. It's about allowing yourself the clarity you deserve. Let me also address a common worry. Does being cautious make you seem untrusting? The answer is in how you practice it. Thoughtful caution isn't about accusing or doubting. It's about calmly observing. It's about allowing space for someone to prove themselves instead of making quick judgments. This subtle shift makes a big difference in how it's received. Ultimately, developing thoughtful caution is about respecting your own value. It's about saying, I'm open to giving you a chance, but I won't lower my standards or ignore my instincts to make it work. This attitude is deeply appealing because it shows that you care enough about yourself to prioritize emotional safety and authenticity. So, I leave you with this thought. What would your relationships look like if you approached them with both an open heart and a watchful eye? How much stronger would your connections be if they were grounded in trust, not fantasy? This is the strength of thoughtful caution. It protects you, strengthens you, and ensures that your relationships truly respect your value. And when you live by this principle, you're not just valued by someone. You're respected, admired, and seen as someone worth striving for. Number 11. Cultivate patience and persistence. Patience is often underrated, but it's a powerful trait that can significantly influence how you're perceived. Imagine this. Instead of reacting immediately to a situation or a comment, you take a moment to pause, reflect, and then respond thoughtfully. This kind of patience shows that you are in control of your emotions and not ruled by them. Persistence is closely tied to patience. It's about staying true to your goals and values, even when things get tough. For instance, when pursuing a relationship, instead of pushing for immediate commitment or responses, show your interest through consistent, respectful actions. Let him see that you are someone who respects both his space and your own values. These traits make you stand out because they are rare and valuable. They demonstrate that you are not merely responding to the events around you, but are intentionally influencing your experiences and relationships. When you combine patience with persistence, you demonstrate a maturity that can make you deeply attractive and respected. It's not about waiting passively. It's about being strategic and respectful in your approach to relationships and life. Number 12. Embrace and radiate. Positivity. Positivity isn't just about being cheerful. It's a profound strength that changes how you face challenges and interact with others. Consider the impact of approaching life with a hopeful, optimistic attitude. When you believe in good outcomes, your energy changes, and this can affect how others feel around you. Embracing positivity means focusing on solutions rather than problems, offering words of encouragement rather than criticism, and smiling more often than frowning. When you radiate such positivity, you become a beacon of light in others' lives, which makes you someone people want to be around. This approach also helps in managing relationships. Instead of dwelling on small issues, focus on the good aspects of the person you're with. Show appreciation for the little things, and communicate hope even in difficult situations. People are drawn to light and warmth. By being a source of positivity, you'll not only uplift yourself, but also attract those who value and respect your uplifting spirit. By integrating these practices into your life, cultivating patience and persistence, and embracing and radiating positivity, you build upon the foundation of quiet confidence and respect. These traits further enhance your ability to command attention and respect naturally without demanding it, making your presence one that is both valued and desired. You've come a long way, and that really shows how dedicated you are to improving yourself, not just to impress others, but to boost your own confidence, growth, and happiness. Let's pause and think about what we've learned, from not pursuing others too eagerly, and learning the art of body language to setting clear limits and welcoming new changes. Each of these quiet steps adds up, building a strong base of self-respect and an appealing energy. These guidelines aren't about playing tricks or deceiving people. They're about being true to yourself and letting that truth shape how you interact with others. The real power of these actions is in their subtle strength. They don't look for attention, they naturally attract it. By following these rules, you create a vibe that makes others appreciate you more. You become a unique mix of strength, elegance, and realness. A person who recognizes their value and encourages others to acknowledge it too. But here's the key point. This path is more about how you see yourself than how others see you. When you live out these actions, you're not only showing him your value, you're reminding yourself of it every day. And this kind of inner change, it's truly invaluable. Let's wrap up with one last thought. What would your life be like if you fully embraced these principles? Picture moving through life with solid confidence, building relationships that respect your worth, and letting go of anything that doesn't help you grow. That's the kind of life these actions can lead to. A life filled with dignity, depth, and real value. If this message strikes a chord with you, show your commitment. Click the like button, type "I value myself" in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who might also need a reminder of their worth, because growing together is even more impactful. Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you found this video useful. Let's take the first step towards turning your life around together. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.